Today I'm going to make calabacitas, which is a stewed Mexican squash dish, and quesadillas with queso fresco. This is gonna be good. Here we go. To start, I'm going to be using 2 medium to large Mexican squash. So this is what it looks like. If you can't find Mexican squash or calabaza, you can definitely use zucchini. I'm also going to be using 2 ears of corn. I have 1 Roma tomato. I actually like to use 2 to 3, but I only have 1 today. I'm also going to be using my fresh corn. I have 2 ears of corn, half of this onion. I'm also going to use some garlic, 2 to 3 cloves minced, and I will be fire roasting 2 poblano peppers, and I'll show you how I prep them. On an open flame, I'm just going to char the exterior of each poblano pepper, and you'll start to hear it pop and the skin will blister. You want to do that on the entire surface of the peppers. Now that they are charred, I'm placing them in a bowl, and I'm going to cover the bowl with cling film and let these set and sweat for about 15 to 20 minutes. Once they are done, I'm going to peel and remove the charred skin. Make sure you wipe it well, maybe with like a kitchen paper towel, and then remove the stem and seeds and chop it up. Now I'm going to show you how I slice and chop my Mexican squash. I go lengthwise in half and then quarter it, and now I'm just going to cut it into small pieces. It's not super thin, the slices, but it's not super thick. This is kind of like the thickness of how I slice this up. And they're just small bite-sized pieces. In a pan over a medium-high heat that I've been preheating, I'm adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, probably more like 1.5 tablespoons. And now I'm going to start my saute. I'm going in with my sliced onion. You can dice, slice, or roughly chop your onion. It's up to you. I'm also adding my fresh corn that I removed from the cob, and I'm going to saute this for about 5 minutes or so. I want this to saute and get a head start. I'm also going to add just a pinch of salt to get things going. Now for my diced tomato going in, and I'm just going to continue to layer this saute. Now with the minced garlic, I will also add around 1/4 teaspoon of dried Mexican oregano. I'll say this is optional because I do have some family members that find oregano to taste medicinal and they don't like it, but I like it, and so does my small family that I live with. But I do have extended family that they're not a fan of the oregano, so that will be up to you and your preference. I like it, so I add it. Now I'm going to add the Mexican squash into the pan, and again I'll give it a pinch of salt and continue the saute for about 5 minutes or so. Now I'm going to add chicken broth. I started with 1 cup, but essentially I will be adding around 1 3/4 cup of chicken broth, or it's just a 14-ounce can of chicken broth. It's up to you. And if you don't want to add chicken broth, you can just add water or vegetable stock. It all works. Now I'm going in with my roasted poblano peppers that I just roughly chopped. Now I'm just going to give it a mix and combine. I'm also going to pick up any fond that remained at the bottom of this pan. Now for some cracked black pepper, and I'm probably going to finish it with salt after giving it a taste once it's done, and I suggest you do the same. I'm going to cover with the lid. I'm going to lower the heat slightly and let it simmer and cook for about 15 minutes or so. In the meantime, I'm going to make my quesadillas. Here I have a cold corn tortilla, and I'm going to heat it through in a little bit of cooking oil on my griddle. I'm going to give the tortilla a flip. I suggest you use tongs or a spatula for this. I'm just using my hands. I'm used to it. Now I'm just going to add a slice of queso fresco. Use the cheese that you prefer, but I love queso fresco quesadillas. So I'm just going to break it apart. I'm going to carefully fold it over and just repeat the process and let it cook. Let it get kind of melty and gooey in the center, and I like the exterior to be crispy like a taco dorado. So it's up to you how you make your quesadillas. This is what I'm doing. So this has been cooking for somewhere like 15 to 20 minutes and it's done. So I'm just gonna shut off the heat and I'll show you what dinner's gonna look like. This is such a simple and easy dinner, and you can add sides to this, or if you want to add meat into the mix, you definitely can. But this is so comforting and easy to make, and it's what's for dinner today. And now it's time to dig in. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.